goes. Everybody, we are back. It is Taped on Last Favorite Race podcast, Favorite Race channel, Favorite Race everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, subscribe. Hit the like button if you don't like it. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the like button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Also follow us on Twitter at the Mark John NFL for me, at Glenn Rockney for Glenn, and of course, pandasubs.com. Discount code TDL for 35% off. So the Raiders lost again. They fought hard, but they didn't show any heart on defense, I guess. I don't know. Now they no heart on defense, but I don't know how much is that Patrick Graham or them. But they did keep us interested in this game. They're like, oh, maybe they pull this out. And like, oh, no, that's not gonna happen. So Raiders lose. What was the final score? 34-19.
Something like that, yeah. A lot to a little.
34-19. The Raiders are now 2-8. If you are for tank season, you're excited about this game. I saw a lot of people were excited about that 2-point play when they ran the ball.
Yeah,
like that's definitely some tanking there. Gardner Minshew is definitely a tankable quarterback, as we can see. His last interception, the announcers were trying to blame it on Corey Myers, but I don't know, man. I feel like he just missed that. But yeah. What are your thoughts, Glenn? What are your thoughts on this?
Well, like I said, the tank people are right. It's just not fun to watch. But this game, I will say, they gave you moments. Look, what did I want to see? I want the offense to be the spam 89 offense. That's what I'm going to call it. Spam him, throw it to him every play. It was nice to see Michael Mayer back a little bit too. He looked like he was at least in shape, which is nice. And Minshew had probably one of his better games as a Raider. Now he did miss. He almost threw another interception that would have been way worse. To Bowers, where I think Bowers, they said on the broadcast he wasn't going to get the first down. I disagree.
Exactly.
I think he was absolutely going to get the first down. But it's funny listening to the broadcast and listening to this as though it's their first Raider game. Like, and what are they doing? Leaving Jonnu Smith on that third down. I mean, it's like, dude, this is what we do. I mean, what are you talking about, Ross Tucker? I appreciate your optimism, but man, like this is a bad team. The running game is cooked. I mean, that we just know that's not getting fixed this year. The O-line is bad. I just don't think the O-line is bad. I don't know why. Not that they're not dominant. They're not dominating on the ground, but Zamir White comes in and just nothing. I even to the point, I know you've said he's in the wrong running scheme, but how does that explain when he has a defender in front of him, just zero chance of winning that battle? There's just no scheme does that work, in my opinion. So that sucks. That being said, I thought there were some interesting things on offense that Scott Turner did, getting the ball to Trey Tucker. Some of the jet stuff that they were doing was really nice. But yeah, again, it had to happen. I'm at this point. Men in Black, the Men in Black beep thing that takes it from your memory, and then you just look that you have a top pick at the end of the year. We would enjoy. We're trading temporary enjoyment for long-term satisfaction, right, Raider Nation?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In theory, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, I mean that's how you got to look at it. I mean, you just want to see the rookies look good. I feel like that's kind of the big part of this season. And, Brock Bowers, he did get fed. He had 16 targets. The next one was Jacoby Myers with 6. So he had 16 targets, 13 catches, 127 yards, and a touchdown. So, I mean, we obviously got a superstar tight end, in my opinion. Like, this dude's a superstar. And that's good to see. And I think Scott Turner did a good job of getting him the football. I think Scott Turner did a great job of moving him around, getting him a lot of looks. I think that the touchdown to him was a great look because it got him wide open on that linebacker or safety. I mean, and he just broke a tackle and ran for a touchdown. So I thought Scott Turner actually had a good game in the passing game, in my opinion. I don't know what the run game. Of course, I watched the film. Of course, we'll see what happened with the run game. But I thought Scott Turner did a good job with the passing game. I mean, Gardner Minshew looked pretty comfortable back there. I mean, he's Gardner Minshew, so it's like he's having Taylor Heineke. It's the same thing, right? You could do as much as you can, but He's going to take a sack. He's going to miss a throw. He's going to throw a pick. I mean, those things are just. I mean, he's a backup quarterback. I mean, that's what he is. I mean, that's what we're figuring out this year. I mean, a lot of people thought he could be a starter because he went 9-8 with the Colts last year, but no, he is a backup quarterback, and that's pretty much been declared. Maybe even a good one. I mean, I don't mind keeping him for a backup. I mean, you know what I mean? Like it wouldn't be too bad for me to keep him there. But see what Aiden O'Connell finished, because I think Aiden O'Connell's good. I don't know when O'Connell's back, but he's gonna finish the season. I mean,
is he? I don't know that he is, because I'll say at this point, everybody, on Twitter, people will ask me, they'll say, well, how does AP not see that Minshew's not a starter? I go, I think this is still my thing. I think AP got told he was safe. And I think he's like, we're just going to roll with this. We're just going to roll with 15. We're going to do our best. I think defensively today, that was kind of a big red flag. They had injury to Bennett, and they just couldn't. No Hobbs out there. Hobbs earned some money today. So I'll say that.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, that game plan Miami was able to do against them was the sorriest thing I've ever seen. But on offense, I think AP's just going, look, I'm going to just show you that I don't have a quarterback. Well, I mean, really, think about it. Wouldn't you do that if you were AP trying to get a second year, third year? Is to go, you guys see the problem. Do you think the answer is Desmond Ridder? Do you think the answer is Aiden O'Connell? I think maybe I think he got told he was safe, which to fans that want to tank, a lot of them want to tank and AP to get fired.
Yeah.
That's not really a good plan for tanking, because the coach is going to do some crazy stuff to try to, spark it up, spark the team up into the 5-6 win season at the end of the year. When you tell the coach you're safe, then you can really tank, because you're talking about the 2-point conversion. Calebon's Chason's penalty was like, that felt like, let's not get off the field right now. I'm not accusing them of tanking or rigging the game, but there's just weird moments today. I really felt like, okay, they might have told everybody that's still on the team that they're safe, because the way they're playing is very strange.
Yeah. People are disagreeing with you that he's safe. This one guy says you're on drugs. Glenn is on drugs.
I am on drugs sometimes, but it doesn't mean look, so is a lot of Raider Nation,
right?
Yeah,
a lot of us are on drugs. Right.
There was a guy in a Jerry Porter jersey that was getting recycling out of the dumpster that I live, and that doesn't mean he doesn't have good head coach takes. I'm just saying, look, I could be wrong, but I don't think he's getting fired.
Shador Sanders tweeted, "Thank you, God," after the Raiders lost again. He's, but see, does he because that's the thing. We talk about his AP safe, but does he want to come here because of AP, or is it just Tom Brady? Or is it both?
I think Brady's definitely a thing. I think AP and Deion probably have a little connection. I would guess too. But Shador might just love the city of Las Vegas, which that to me is a red flag. I'd be like, damn it, you love the city. I want you to hate the city. I want you to have what's that like? I want you to have epilepsy from the lights. I don't even want you to go outside.
Yeah.
Man, I don't even want you to. But yeah, I think it's Tom.
Yeah. So we talk about this offense today, but the real problem with today was the defense's ass, right? And I know they had a lot of injuries. And that was the biggest problem today. I mean, the defense is ass. So we're going to talk about this game. It's supposed to be instant reaction to this game, right? The defense was terrible. Now, I mean, I think Patrick Graham has this shield from Raiders fans around him.
Yeah.
He has this force field around him a little bit. That no Raiders, nobody attacks him. Luke Getsy was just fired upon every single West Side Gun every single day, right? And I think Patrick Graham gets a lot of, just for some reason, he has this protective force field around him with Raiders fans. And I really feel like when you watch this type of game, one, they came out in man. I don't know what the hell that was. What was that?
That was insane.
What was that? What were they doing? What is his game plan? I mean, even if you don't have Nate Hobbs, so you're having Jack Jones move around. I mean, there's a chance he might get worked by Tyreek Hill. I mean, he's playing man. I mean, and then they put him in the slot. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I think Patrick Graham, he has some weird game plans sometimes. I think his game plan against Tua and them was weird. Yeah, you want to stop them from making big plays, but they haven't had big plays all year. Have you seen the Dolphins throw the 70-yard bombs this year? No. I mean, they've been playing a certain different type of style. And and you could tell. I mean, to be honest, even the last play with the Jonnu Smith touchdown, it's 3rd and 4. You got to get a stop. And you call cover 0, with those corners out there. And I know, like, maybe you want to get some pressure on the quarterback, and you want to get after him, and you want to, cause some pressure or something, make him get rid of the ball quick. It hasn't been working. But I just think, I mean, there's different calls you can call with blitzes without running cover zero with the Cameron Richardson out there, and he misses a check or something, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it's and you're just not playing those. I don't know. It's just a weird play call. Like, and I never forget. I mean, year one, I'll never forget when he did the two guys rushing Kyler Murray,
or the Rams, or even the Rams one with play. Single high safety. Wasn't a single high against the Rams on the final drive. The Thursday Night Football debacle. I mean, that he does have some. I'll tell you right now why even myself shields him a little bit, because I know I just feel like I feel like he can make a good defense great. I don't know that he can make a bad defense solid, which I think is actually what the best defensive coordinators can do, is take like I don't want to big up our opponents, but like Jesse Minter right now, like the Chargers don't really have that many like household names that are even playing that well. Bosa has 2 sacks on the year. Yeah. And they have Derwin James, obviously, but like for the most part, they got some, like, it's not the most insane roster on defense.
They got Christian Fulton Bolton.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Guys like that. Like that's, and I don't think Patrick Graham can do that. And that's, should we have a better defense? I agree. But like, yeah, he's not safe. I don't think he's safe.
Yeah. I don't think he is either. He's not safe either. And maybe they need to go to a different type of defense. It's been 3 or 4 years, right, of him being up and down.
Yeah.
A lot
of continuity on that side of the ball. Like it's not like you can blame, you had Max Crosby, you had Nate Hobbs, you had Spillane for the last 2 years, you've had all these guys. It's not that much turnover on defense. They pretty much ran it back on that side of the ball.
Right? Diablo's out there, you know what I'm saying? He's out there getting worked like always, but it's just, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird that he kind of gets a little bit of that.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, that kind of shield. Like, nobody really talks about it. Even though you lost those guys, I mean, Charles Snowden's not playing very well, and you keep playing him. Chason didn't have the best game. It just was not great on defense today. It was just bad on defense. I'm not really expecting too much from the defense anymore.
No,
but and I said that on the previous show. I don't see how they're going to stop him. I said that on when we talked about the Friday Night Live. I just literally said I don't know how they're going to stop him, and they couldn't stop him. So I don't. Did they stop? Did they punt?
No, they didn't punt. Did not punt once. I mean, yeah, you could count some red zone situations where they like held him to field goals. Sure, I guess. There was definitely some funny officiating again when you're talking about, yes, that was a face mask. The Raiders are the only team in the NFL to not benefit from a missed face mask this year, apparently. Where the guy throws the flag late during the conference. Which again, not saying it wasn't a face mask, it obviously was, but I know only one team that happens to in that sort of fashion, with like a ref conference and some unforeseen official meeting. So there were a few things that kept, Caleb on Chase on, that's stopping them on that one third and whatever, however long that was. There were a lot of opportunities, but yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they made a move at defensive coordinator. You can't really defend Graham at this point. Yes, Wilkins and Kuntz not there is a thing for sure, but you're going to need also, to get somebody that gets in there that wants to work with Tyree Wilson and people like that. Like, you might need to start looking for your next guy.
Yeah. I think you got to figure something out. I don't know who they're going to hire, but this would be interesting because I mean, if the Raiders like lose every game out this year and they finish like 2-15, like AP's not surviving that, right?
I don't know. I'm just
crazy.
I agreed with you a couple weeks ago, but now I'm just going like, okay, when I watched the game, like today, I thought he was fine with timeouts and stuff. Like I thought he did what he was supposed to do late in the game, calling the time. Jay Feely was on him; he was ready to get him, but he was like, nope, that's when I would have called the timeout. That's when and it makes sense. I'm not caping for the guy because I could understand firing him. I absolutely would. But I just think that they're like, I think everybody understands like where they're at right now, and I think he's coaching as though he's sick. Because if he does get fired, it's insane that he's not like panicking right now, and like really, he's coaching as though he has a job next year.
Yeah. Luke disagrees with you. He went all caps.
Okay, I'm just saying. Like, look, first off, I do anticipate them winning another game.
Okay, yeah.
So no, Luke. You said 2-15. Let's put this at 4 wins. I think 2 to 4 wins is what everybody would agree would be fireable, right? For the most part, even myself, I would agree with it. I don't think they are going to though. That's just my thing. So we'll see. We'll come back to this. We'll see because I think they are a 4-win team this year. So we will come back to that hypothetical.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting to see what happens how they end this year because it's hard for them to. I mean, if they can't play defense. I mean, that's the biggest problem here. They can't play defense. They don't have a good enough offense to make up for it. Obviously, you got Gardner Minshew, a quarterback. You got to play defense with Gardner Minshew as your quarterback. So if you can't stop anybody, I mean, I don't know if you're going to win another game. That's what I'm scared about when I watch this, and I watch this team right now. It's like, okay. So if you can't stop anybody, you're not good on offense. You can't run the ball. Like I don't see how they win another game. So that's my thing in my head because like even if you think about it, when the Raiders fans, we haven't seen good defense in a long time, right? We got to see it for 8 weeks last year. It got us excited for this season. But at least on offense, the Raiders would find a way to get to 8-8. I mean, that's why most of us hated Derek Carr because he would get us 8-8 with the bad defense, right? But now when you have a bad defense and a bad offense, we get to like the 2013. We're at 2013.
This is very Dennis Allen-y, this team right now. Now, what I will say is like there's way more fun to watch guys on this team than the Dennis Allen team. Like, that Dennis Allen team, like name the receivers on that team. Oh my gosh. Like I'm having trouble right now thinking of them. Like it's just, I'm sure people in the comments will, but I just mean, that's my point. You do have Brock Bowers and it's funny. Like my friends will ask me, about like the team. They don't really necessarily watch a lot of Raider games and they'll just say like, are they really that bad? And I'm like, it's weird because like, I'll say this, I was like, they have a lot of talent, but they can't pass the ball and they can't run the ball and they can't play defense. That's what I tell them. And I don't think I'm exact. I mean, they don't have depth, but I do think they have a lot of like actual talented guys on their team. But I people will think you're insane. They will want you committed for saying what I just said. But I think everybody that watches them, it's like, man, Brock Bowers goes crazy. Like Jackson Powers Johnson's running upfield on the screens. There's a lot of stuff to like about it, but they can't do any of the core things you need to do to win a football game. It's crazy.
It's real shit though, man. They can't. What can they do?
Like, what did you like about the 2013 Raiders? Like, that's the year before they got Khalil Mack. What did you like? Nothing. There's nothing on that team.
Rod Streeter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what did you like? Now there's like so many people that you like, but it's just as bad. Like the final product. Again, I'd rather be in this situation. Yeah. Trust me, because like you know the position you need to upgrade. The problem spots, but damn, like it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting offseason.
Yeah, it is because the first thing you have to figure out is what they're going to do with the head coach. I mean, we still got how many weeks left? So we still got 6 weeks left of this season, right? Because it's 11, yeah. Or no, actually we got 7.
7
we have 7 weeks left. So I mean, we are early. We don't know.
One primetime game that I have tickets to a hockey game during that. And my dad was like, "Hey, my bad. You might have to miss the Raider game this weekend." I was like, "Oh no."
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh man.
We don't even have Friday Night Live. I mean, the Friday Night Live would be the post game, but I didn't watch the game. Like that's going to be the problem with that Black Friday game. It's like a noon game, and it's just like, gosh, I just fast forward. Give me the remote from Click.
I know. My daughter has a mariachi concert next week, so I'm definitely going to that during the game. I'll watch it on my phone, I guess. Because this team is just. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I just don't know how they win a game after this because you can't.
Dad, were you watching Were you watching 2-win football during my show, Dad? Come on.
100%. It's the truth, man. Like,
Yeah, she'd get it if it was a playoff, team.
it's a playoff
Sure.
game. You
She'd
understand,
get it.
but like
She'd
I said,
understand. But it's like, come on.
they got 2
You're
wins.
watching Gardner Minshew out of the corner of your eye.
Yeah, it's not worth it. Not worth it at all. So this team is just it's frustrating because I just didn't expect them to be this bad. I mean, I was like, you at least would be mediocre, but I guess with all the injuries and that stuff they're having, it's kind of disappointing. And some people are excited, and they want to get a quarterback, but we'll see. We'll see. You guys want Shedeur Sanders, and Sanders wants to come here. Maybe that's this. Carson Beck played pretty well yesterday, man. I just know he's
a lot of
creeping
guys
up.
are playing well right now, man.
I know.
A lot of guys are. Carson Beck did look good. The Curtis Roy. You're gonna have to take a look. I've been watching some Curtis Roy. There's something there.
Yeah, I doubt he goes first round. I think Shedeur Sanders is going to be that guy, man.
There's always one riser though. There's always one like off-season guy that like sneaks into the first round. Curtis Rourke might be that guy. I'm just speculating, but there's gonna be a lot. There's gonna be a lot to look forward to in the offseason. I'm glad there's only 7 weeks left. For some reason, I thought there was like 10 more. It's been that excruciating.
Yeah, we're close. We're close to the end. We're close to the end, man. We're almost here. We're almost here. And we can go full draft season, right?
It'll be fun.
Yeah. So don't forget 6'5", 231. Yeah, I know.
Got to bet the arm is live too.
Yeah,
live.
Yeah, but the Shedeur Sanders "thank you God" tweet. I feel like that's the fix is in that he's gonna end up being the next quarterback,
or he just went to church.
Maybe
it's Sunday.
It is.
Like, guys, he might just really like God.
You might be right. I mean, Dion is a big Jesus guy.
I know. He might have just literally came out of church in Colorado. I could see that. Church lasts a long time sometimes, he might just be like, he didn't say just got out of church, thank you, God. But, he might have been praying to be a Raider there the whole time.
I don't know. It is interesting that he wants to join the Raiders.
I know. Look, I want him. He made some nice throw. Actually, to be honest, when you were talking about his downfield stuff, I thought he had a really nice downfield passing day right after your breakdown.
I know he tried to show me out, a little bit. But, he even made some plays on the run too. He was like,
he looked good. That's not.
I think he watched it.
That's not a bad defense.
Oh, that's what Marcus thinks. I got you, Marcus.
Yeah, I think hey, that was a good defense he's playing against. Ooh, man.
Yeah, you know what I mean? All right, so we got some questions here. It's like, bro, Rams cover 0 against a team with, I thought the same thing. You guys are idiots. PG deserves the heat, but how many excuses is AP going to get before we acknowledge the elephant?
I think he gets one more year. I think he's going to get one more year. It's just my prediction. Again, I would understand if Mark Davis fired him. I wouldn't be mad.
Yeah, and because Vrabel's out there and Brady would probably bring in Vrabel. Vrabel, I at least know they would play great defense all the time.
I just wonder if it's more of a good job, like to an outside coach, if you get the number 1 pick, or let's say top 3, top 4 pick, or if you've already picked a good player with that pick. And then next, like what I'm saying is 2 years from now, like let's say it's Shedeur Sanders and he has a pretty good rookie year, looks promising. Is the job more attractive?
I think the job we're getting a defensive coach. That's what I think.
Really?
Because to be honest, like you're taking, I don't love Beck. It's just a joke because he's 6'4".
You'd think the NFL is going to love him. Yeah, you've said that before.
That's a joke. But the thing is, like, I think the Raiders take a defensive coach because we don't have a quarterback for sure. Right, there's no for sure unless they pick one, which that might change everything.
If you pick one, you're going to want to make sure you get that offensive guy with what you're going to pick.
Yeah, exactly. So it all depends, but I feel like they probably get a defensive guy to replace him, and that's Vrabel. Right, Vrabel's a defensive guy. Vrabel picked one good offensive coordinator, and then he picked a bad one. So if you go by his history of picking offensive coordinators, it's a little interesting because Arthur Smith. I like Arthur Smith because he's smart and he's like, I'm gonna stop running my offense. Let's run the Russell Wilson offense, which Sean Payton refused, but Arthur Smith gave in, which I kind of like that. But he still picked Todd Downing to be his on purpose. So Mike Vrabel kind of scares me a little bit because that's the importance of a defensive coach, right? Like the importance of a defensive coach is picking your offensive coordinator, right? I feel like that's what you have to do. It's one of the main things you got to do as a defensive coach is pick a great offensive coordinator. I think like Dan Quinn does a great job of that. I mean, he picked
Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan. He even had Steve Sarkisian, who wasn't that bad in the NFL before he went back to the college. He wasn't that bad in the NFL. So, he does a good job of picking that OC, and you can say Cliff Kingsbury, even though we're starting to see that little fall off of Kingsbury. Dan Quinn does a good job of that. I'm trying to think of other defensive coaches. I mean, you can say D'Amico Ryans did an okay job with Bobby Slowick. But it's important, man. You have to pick a good offensive coordinator if you're not an offensive coach, right?
Agreed.
And I don't know if Vrabel does that. That's the question. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, man, I don't know. It's tough, man. It's tough with this team. Yeah, because if they go a new coach, it's like, who do they hire? Are they attractive at this point?
That's what I mean. I don't know that you're going to reel in the big. If you're picking one, perhaps, right? If you're picking one, I think the job's more attractive to a damn offensive minded coach. Because it's like, okay, I get my quarterback with Brock Bowers and a bunch of money that I can spend on, I don't know, maybe one or two other receivers or something. Like maybe it's more attractive to that because you get to start 1-1 with your quarterback. Year one. I mean, and to me, I'd be looking at a Zach Robinson. I'd be looking. I'm surprised. He's kind of weird looking. Maybe nobody likes him because he's weird looking or something. But like the guy from Arizona, the offensive coordinator, tell me he's not going to get some looks in the offseason, dude.
Yeah.
That's another guy, I would be looking at. These are young offensive minds. I don't want to fire AP and hire like another defensive. That to me would just Dan Quinn's not out there. So I don't like.
What if they hire Belichick?
I've already said, I mean, again, Brady would have to know that Belichick shouldn't be the GM. Brady would have to know that because that's part of the reason I think Brady was.
Who's Belichick? See, this is the thing, but Belichick's going to bring back Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't like it. Now, that being said, I think if you had somebody that could do what they were doing in the draft for Bill Belichick, that would make me a little happy because Belichick his picks were so bad. I mean, they're still suffering from them. They just cut the guy from they just cut like a second rounder from like last year or 2 years ago or something. It's like they're still suffering from that in the way the Raiders are. I don't think it would be the worst hire, but yes, it's all the what comes with Belichick that everybody's pissed about. It probably might be Bill O'Brien.
Yeah, or I see this one. Because answer was this question: what offensive mind would Brady hire? And it could be Brian Daboll.
Yeah, no, and that's another one I don't hate. He's again failed as a head coach, but I thought what he did with the Bills was fantastic. So.
Exactly. So I mean, that could be somebody they bring in as OC.
Yeah,
but you're kind of going. I mean, that would make Jacoby Myers happy, but
yeah, and that would rule out Daniel Jones as our bridge starter because he ain't been running that back. Hell no. Yeah.
I could not see Gardner Minshew running that system. So
no, that's the problem. I mean, again, not the problem, but it just. Yeah, to me, I would look at a Zach Robinson. I mean, what do you say about Jesse Minter? I mean, Jesse Minter, everybody's going to be looking at him. Jesse Minter is a guy, if you're going to go defensive, that's the route I would go is this young defensive-minded thing, which, I don't know. It's just defensive head coaches right now, young defensive head coaches right now. D'Amico Ryans is pretty good, but otherwise I'm like, who are they? Who are the one? Mike McDonald's not – their team's not good.
Yeah, I don't know who. I mean, I guess you go after Jesse Minter.
That's who I would say. But even then, I'm like, is it just the young defensive mind? Is that really the way to go now, or is it? But no. To be fair, Jonathan Gannon's doing a hell of a job. I got to put some respect on.
Yeah.
So Gannon, yeah, maybe I would look at Jesse Minter. I would look at something like that. But yeah, this is kind of why I just want to wait another year a little bit on AP. But Brady might not. I don't know.
Yeah. Because somebody asked, it's about Tom Brady running this team heavily involved. So that's a big part of it. Is what Brady's going to do. But you never know what's going to happen. But yeah, it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough to see who they pick because, like I said, I mean, there's a lot of coaches, but they're all defensive this year. I feel like so.
I think Zach Robinson's going to get some looks, dude. I think he is. He comes from that McVay tree, and that's hot to do. I mean, Kevin O'Connell, there's a good track record with hiring young guys out of the McVay tree. Like,
that's true.
Yeah, Zach Robinson, I could see being a guy for sure. Like where you know, is Atlanta like the most high flying offense? No, but I love what they're doing with Bijan in the run game, and Kirk's playing really well. So that's another one. You know, that's one I'm kind of hopeful for if the vacancy is there for the Raiders.
Yeah, he said McDonald also did the same thing with Grubbs, like hiring outside the box. Yeah, I mean that's probably a big thing too. They got, I don't know.
Seattle's problem is Geno Smith to me though. Like right now, like I think they have a Geno problem, and they're gonna have to go get a veteran. I think they're going to be in the market for like a veteran trade candidate quarterback soon. Just in my opinion, but I don't think Ben Grubbs has done like a terrible job there. But I'm not a Seahawks fan, so I can't. You know, maybe their fan base is telling me what the hell do I know.
Yeah. What reason is there to keep AP other than not to fire a coach in the back-to-back years? San Francisco would have kept Chip Kelly instead of hiring Shanahan with that logic. I don't know. I mean,
Chip Kelly was a couple years with the Niners, right? Or
was no, it was one.
Was he one? Okay.
Also, Chip Kelly though just came from losing with the Eagles, and then he got hired.
Yeah,
and that's why they fired him. I think a little bit too.
And I mean, I'm not saying it's the right move. It's what I think will happen. But I just as a betting man, I think it's 65-35 right now. But like you said, if they lose their last 7, that's 7 long weeks of losing.
Yeah.
You know, if that happens. Like you said, you know, we were saying on Friday Night Live, Monken, thank you, Joseph, in the comments for reminding us about Todd Monken and Jalen Milroe.
Yeah.
Woo, sign me up.
Yeah.
But again, if everybody thinks if these Shador tweets are real, maybe it's always been Shador. I don't know.
Yeah. He said, what if he uses his Bucks connection? He'll bring Bruce Arians out of retirement.
That'd be sick.
That would be.
I don't know if Bruce is healthy enough to do that, but that'd be sick.
I mean, he's got to rest for 2 years, man. I don't know. Bring Bruce out of retirement.
He's on the green juices now, though. He's on that crypto side diet. So
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bruce is looking good. I saw him in the thing. He looks good. Like he's yeah. Like yeah. I mean, he might go. You know.
If you want anybody to pick a quarterback, though, I would. Man, that would be
yeah. Yeah. No, I mean,
quarterback whisperer.
And guess who he's getting rid of? Gardner Minshew.
Super quick.
Yeah. He's like, are you sure you're right-handed, son? That ball doesn't go far enough.
He's see, the thing is, he wouldn't like Shador Sanders because he couldn't run his offense. He'd have to go get.
Nah, that's the thing. It would be the Curtis Rourke's. It would be the Drew Allard. Drew Allard might be a guy too that just goes first round. That's another one. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan, but he's big with a huge arm.
Yeah. All right, guys. We're out of here. We're at 30 minutes here, but I appreciate you guys joining us. We got 500 in here today, so appreciate you guys joining us after another loss and other questions you got for us. But we are out of here. We'll be back on Tuesday with the film review, or Wednesday with the film review. BD be joining me for that. Or Matt's out on the baby. And then, of course, we do what we do all week. I'll get some more membership stuff up here, guys. You know what I'm saying? We got some more rookies to look at. I'll probably do some. I'll do like Curtis Rourke or something. I'll do something different. I don't know. But hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. It's your first time here. I see some people from Twitter on here. It's your first time. You're checking us out off Twitter. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, join the channel. We are out of here. Peace.